Okay. So let's talk about habit building because people don't know. Sometimes you go, oh, I'm going to do this. And we think we're starting a new habit, but we don't really know on that. So, what does it look like to start building a successful habit?
So I guess when I started and I committed to doing a dry January for the sake of feeling better, I committed to that 30 days. And 30 days and through the struggles that came from changing that lifestyle to becoming something different, committing to 30 days and working through day at a time, getting through that month was a big step, but there was other people around me that were doing a dry January. It became a bit easier. And as I started to learn about habit changes and 21 days or cycles of 21 days or 100 days to change a lifestyle, my goals started to change from just 30 days to that 60-day mark or 100-day mark. And whether it's a small habit we want to change, like I worked on brushing my teeth better, I didn't like my dental health, or it's something large like not drinking or losing weight, it's like breaking that down, doing it one day at a time. So changing that habit, brushing my teeth, I was marking every day in the morning on the calendar where I kept track of everything. Check mark in the morning when I did it, check mark before bed, every day, counting it up, 100, doing this for 100 days, and then just testing myself after. It was trying these different things I wanted to work on for this period of time, and then testing myself to see whether or not it stuck the way that I was learning it should. And that brushing my teeth example was a huge eye opener because at that 100-day mark, when I stopped tracking it to test whether or not it worked, it was I couldn't go to bed or I couldn't leave my house to for work without doing that. It became a huge part. I'd be in bed, I'd be like, oh no, I didn't do that yet. I got to go do that. Whereas before, I'm like, oh, it's fine. I'll do it in the morning. And doing that with drinking water or not drinking alcohol or whatever, keeping track of it on the calendar and working on getting to that 30-day, 60-day, 100-day mark, breaking it down as small as it was, gave me all the tools, all the confidence to try different things and add more to it or subtract to it as I grew.
I like the idea of starting with something small, like brushing your teeth, right? As parents, we're on top of our kids. Brush your teeth, right? It's in the morning, brush your teeth, go to bed, brush your teeth, right? We're really good about that as parents. I have had my daughters like, why are you guys so insistent about that? Because we're building good habits, whether you know it or
Mhm.
not. We're building good habits. But I think as adults, we often think we have to reach for something more grand. And I think sometimes just with something small like brushing your teeth, whatever it is, 2 times a day, 3 times a day, whatever you do in your home, I think just having success at finessing that habit and reinforcing that habit would help a lot of guys step into it's like, oh, I brush my teeth twice a day for 60 days straight. I hope so. I got to admit, I haven't always done it, but just having success at that, I think helps build that habit. I think you can take on something maybe a little bigger. Is that your,
Yeah,
did you
yeah,
want
absolutely. And because it was something as I learned about habits and trying it, it was something that one, I wanted to get better at, but two, wasn't something that was going to hurt me. It wasn't something that was like, I need to go to the gym for an hour every day forever. It wasn't something like, I'm going to go run a marathon or I'm going to lose 100 pounds. It was something that was small enough that I could test the things I was learning about tracking it. Marking it on the calendar gave me a visual, and then seeing the days build up as I'm going through the days and the months and seeing all these little check marks for doing it gave me that accountability and even more confidence because then I'm seeing like, wow, like this has been 15, 20, 30, 60 days already. Like I'm going to get to that 100 and celebrating it as I reach these different milestones. And that celebration doesn't have to be grand. It's just something that gives you that dopamine that says I'm doing a good job because we need that. And once I learned about this, that this works, I started doing it with other things. Like my calendar at one point, I had little check marks for brushing my teeth. I had circles on the day for drinking water. If I drank these 2 jugs that this jug that I had, my goal was twice a day. So I'd circle the day twice for that. There you go. And then if I could exercise for 10 minutes. Like, it wasn't anything grand, but I wanted to get better at working out, or having that physical health improvements. I didn't commit to an hour, it was 10 minutes. So that 10 minutes became another little mark on the calendar. And everything that I was keeping track of for that period of time, because it was the little marks, okay, it was easier to fit inside the box on the calendar, but I didn't have to talk about it. I didn't have to tell anybody that I didn't want to tell what I was working on, because that calendar was right out in the open where I could see it. I would run into it every time I committed out of the house. It was right in our mudroom, or towards the garage entrance that we use. And if I felt vulnerable and I didn't want to talk about it, I didn't have to. I could tell them whatever I wanted to if I needed to, just to say what I felt comfortable in that moment. But in my head, I knew that these check marks were this, the squiggles were that. And by keeping track of everything that way, I would learn that, okay, brushing my teeth after 100 days, I feel good and it's just a part of me now. But working out 100 days, I don't feel like I can continue. So, like, for instance, right now, I've been doing sit ups. It was something I wanted to do right before bed. So I started just doing one. I just wanted to go sit on the floor, do a sit up. And then quickly that one sit up became 10. 10's the new goal. And then 50. For 100 days, I did 50 sit ups before bed. Start of this year, now I'm at 100. And it's the same mark on the calendar, because in the beginning, that mark on the calendar, that dopamine, it means the same to me then as it does now, but I've evolved. I can handle more now. That check mark means the same to me now because it's a consistent mark, but it's I've allowed the habit to grow because I'm comfortable with that growth. And whatever it is we're working on, start with something that's possible, and as you build your confidence,